stand up, so we gotta stand together, joining hand in hand around us. You know that you are my anchor in the storm. I need you here with me to keep our body warm. And when you say fall apart, then I'm gonna fall apart. When you say fall apart, then I'm gonna fall apart. When you say fall apart, then I'm gonna fall apart for you. And when you say fall apart, then I'm gonna fall apart. When you say fall apart, well, I guess I'll just fall apart. When you say fall apart, then I'm gonna fall apart for you.
I kind of had these two desires in my life, and one of them was that I wanted to pick up more traditional knowledge, more traditional living life ways from my Potawatomi ancestors. And so the Potawatomi originally came from the Great Lakes area, from Michigan. Some went up to Canada with the Ojibwe relatives, and some are a little bit in Wisconsin and stuff like that. But anyway, generally from that area, Michigan mostly.
I grew up in Wisconsin.
Cool. Yeah, that's good. I've heard it's great. Been there one time. I wish I had more time to stay. But so I wanted to do that, and then I also, this band is lovely, and we have so much fun, and we do so well, and we've been able to do some really fun things like the Riverfest last year and stuff like that. And when we are, like I said, able to get together, it's really great. But as a, I want to do this for a career. I want this to be my job. And so I kind of had to decide, all right, I'm going to go ahead and branch off again. Like, it's really difficult to do that, but just to say, I need to be able to play gigs solo. And so if you play shows solo, like, the big thing that you need is merchandise to sell. You need a CD to let people hear what you sound like before they'll even book a show part of the time. And then also, once you get people to a show, you might make $100 or something just for showing up and playing your hour and a half, 2 hour set. But then you may be able to sell a lot more in merch and make your little business a lot more money. And so as I was thinking about these two things, I'm like, okay, this involves travel, this involves travel, this involves sort of a reconnection, with a part of my family's life that was really lost and has been sort of like trying to come back. I feel like, that this is a job that I have to do, to bring some of that back out. And then it just sort of like came together. Why can't both of these things be the same thing? Why can't, both of these desires look like just one life for me? And so in thinking about that, I was introduced to the First Peoples Fellowship, First Peoples Fund. It's a fellowship that is awarded to 20 or 25 Indigenous artists every year. And culture bearers as well, people who are doing things within their community, people who are artists selling their art, and this was a grant for a year-long project. So as I read the criteria for the grant and like the people that they were awarding this money to, I'm just like, they're talking about me, like they're talking about this thing that I've had kind of in the back of my mind that I knew that I wanted to do. And so it was a way to pull the culture and the art into one big piece and develop the concept album so that I have a product, that is my own, that I can present as a, for selling and then also for promotion and things like that. But it really, you know, that's kind of what I thought it was gonna be. And then it really has turned into a year of deep, deep, like personal upheaval, you know, to dig through the bones basically of my ancestors, you know, in some places that I dug, I got to a point and I was like, oh, you know, this is like really, really personal. I had to kind of take a moment to make sure that it was okay to keep going, you know, with this. And one of the songs that I wrote that will go on the album is called His Name. It deals with some really heavy stuff, and it's kind of dealing with women not their names being erased, basically, you know, but whether it's marriage and taking someone's name, or, you know, when I looked back into the early Potawatomi history and that first contact with the French fur traders who they were trading with, those French fur traders' names, my grandfather's name is remembered. Michael Oji, you can go and find information about him. But the wife that he took, the reason, you know, my grandmother, her name is not. No, for 3 or 4 generations down it goes that way, where his name is remembered and hers is not. And so that was really tragic, you know, a tragic thing for me to think about. And you know, even Citizen Potawatomi Nation, the tribe that I belong to, that, you know, that's their version of the history. This isn't even just white history books. This is our own tribe doesn't know their names. So, and then, you know, some of it was just sort of out of personal experience too, just like kind of feeling invisible in a relationship, feeling invisible, and feeling like just a support system for a more important person, right? And so that's kind of what that, and so it's very like emotional, you know, and it's very, it touches me really deeply every time that I sing it. So like this is a really new thing. Like,
so are you pulling the chants from like actual experience with First Nation people, like?
I'm not, we did put on Mother, we put the Cherokee Water song, and I've had some reservations about that since we did that, because it's not our song. And so like I've had some second thoughts about that. But it was my idea to put it on, because I felt, you know, the song is really about the mother, it's about water, it's about, you know, like you said, new relationships and things like that. And this is a prayer song, and so I try to acknowledge, when we do it publicly, I try to acknowledge, you know, this is a song that we learned from these people, and, you know, and acknowledge that the correct way. But the two that I know for sure will go on this new album are originals. I mean, you always just want to be respectful, you know, you don't want to, I wouldn't want to perform that song if we were performing at a bar, you know what I mean? Or I would want to pick the right time and place for that, you know, for that medicine to be used, I guess. So just trying to honor that. But then, you know, I have talked to so many elders that have said that this is the time, like, we're not hiding this under cover anymore. So there's both of those things to kind of hold in tension when dealing with stuff pulling from traditional songs. In Shalako, which is a song that I wrote from a historical point of view about my great-grandmother's experience, or maybe would-be experience. She definitely went to residential school, but visiting that place and trying to imagine what that must have been like is sort of how that song came about. And pardon me, the chant that's in the end of that is, it's derived from the Strong Woman song, and it's not a traditional song, it's sort of a contemporary chant that.
Hey, my name is Sarah Bays, and my instrument is the upright bass, which confuses people because my last name is Bays, but my instrument is the bass. It does not have its own personal name.
I'm Alexa Dawson, and this is a guitar. It's a nice Martin, and I don't have a name for it, but always sing greater gratitude to Tony for the guitar.
My name is Rachel Eli, and this is violin. This violin was actually given to me by a friend, and he called her Weda, so that's what I call her also, and this is the bow.
Hi, I'm Melissa Tasto, and this is my tambourine, and my shakers, and this drum is called a djembe.
Hi, I'm Emily Wilson, and I play the mandolin. It does not have a name of its own at this time, but that makes me think I might want to give it a name now.
Oh, everything changed. Can't do no other. Nothing stays the same. Try your hardest, but you can't stop time. Round and round in circles, ever yours and mine. Something changed, oh, everything changed. You can't do no other, nothing stays the same.
Hello.
Oh, everything changed. Can't do no other.
We speak each other's language. And I needed my earphones
Change, something change. Can't do no other.
Go ahead.
Nothing